Sunday morning, and, well, we made it. We'd finally arrived at the 32nd Schaffen Diest Fly drive-in, and I think we probably were the only two people who actually did just that, having both flown and driven. The Oysterpilots that we'd met at breakfast took advantage of the good weather and left early for their flights home. As the Belcos taxi for fuel, we look at the water that comes up from the sodden ground. No wonder we were pleased to have warm beds and a dry room and not have to camp overnight. Having arrived the day before in a grog that he's recently restored, Raymond arrived this morning in a very stylish stop.
Yeah, but if it's not foreign, it shouldn't be on.
It's warm, it's not hot. This is hot.
The weather was good, trade stands and exhibits were open, people had started to arrive, visiting aircraft were beginning to appear, but we needed to make a move. We still had the challenge of somehow getting back to Antwerp and collecting the aircraft. Once again, Guy and his volunteers came to the rescue and we were driven to the station. An €8.90 ticket got us to Antwerp's Central Station in just 50 minutes. It turned out to be a real eye-opener. Known as the Cathedral Station, it's reputed to be one of the best in the world. The old facade hiding a modern design with 3 levels of platforms. A short taxi ride and we were back at the airport and thanking the controller who'd helped us the day before. We checked the weather and filed a flight plan, phoned a GAR, which is a requirement when you're flying back to the UK, and we were driven across the apron to the hangar. As we lined up for takeoff, we heard Raymond on the radio, returning from Diest, wishing us a good flight home. As we climbed up out of the airfield, we looked down and there he was on the taxiway, waiting to see us off. We commented that in the event of an engine failure, there'd be nowhere to land, except perhaps for the river. It was a different flight back from the day before. The sky was clear and the clouds were high. We'd filed a flight plan to fly the 187 nautical miles back to Neyland via the short channel crossing. Sort of a reciprocal of what we'd flown the day before and the day before that. We both sat back and compared the difference between the 2 days. Sky Demon showed us at the boundary between French and English airspace, and as we neared the coast of Dover, the cloud had started to build. But there again, this was England. The typical creek patterns told us we were nearly home, and it wasn't long before we were back and putting the aircraft away in the hangar. An epic mini journey, but thanks to all the people that we'd met over the weekend and who'd helped us, to Guy and his team at the Schaffen Diest, Oldtimers Fly, to Raymond and his son Tim, to the controllers, Met Office and security team at Antwerp, and of course to John, for letting me fly there with him.